All right, bro. What are the logistics of Street Fighter 6?
Good answer. Good answer.
Hey, welcome to Music City Fighting Game Community Player Spotlight. I'm your host, Crust. This week, we got the man behind the chair, the man who makes it all happen. We got Fly Dragon. Fly Dragon, thanks for being here, man. How are you?
Thanks for having me. My name's also Alex, too. Don't call me Fly Dragon. It'll be weird.
Don't call him that.
No.
So, Alex, you're the guy who makes all the streaming, everything that is associated with Music City Fighting Game Community happen. How did you get into, production and wanting to make the stream kind of a thing for our community?
So in high school, I did video production. I used to do a podcast. I used to do dumb skits, too. A couple months before Street Fighter 6 came out, It was me, Gio, and Thomas were like, okay, Street Fighter 6, it's a huge game. This is going to bring a lot of new people. It's going to bring back some old people. We really want to grow the scene. So let's that's where we came up with Music City FGC. So to get our name out, Twitter, that's the big thing, and then streams. Because people watch the streams, where's this at? Music City. You see Nashville in the background.
Right.
You know, you got the address to the arcade. You know, it starts from like a small group of people. We really wanted to grow the scene, and then here we're still doing it. We're running Tekken, Uni. You know, we're still going strong today.
What really got you into fighting games?
What got me into fighting games? Ultra Street Fighter 4 on the 3DS. When I was in middle school, yeah, I had the game, you know, and
awesome.
you had for people that don't know, on the DS touchscreen, you had the special moves, right? So you tap button, flash kick, tap button, sonic boom. You could do walking sonic booms in that game, you know. And I watched other people play too, and that's how I got introduced to like the competitive scene.
Right.
So I saw players like Knuckle and I tried to emulate it on the DS too by doing like instead of I called it like at the time the pussy controls where I tried to do the actual motion. They're still hard as shit,
right,
to the point where I broke the circle pad on the 3DS too. So
God.
Yeah, and I never had a console because that's how I grew up. Like we couldn't afford it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Never had a console, and then it wasn't until years later during the pandemic we weren't doing anything. I was like, wait a minute, I'm a grown ass man. I could afford a PS4. So I bought a PS4, and now I was playing whatever games. I was like, wait a minute, Street Fighter? I could play Street Fighter now. Play Street Fighter. It was me and Rob. We played it. We played each other as rivals. And I told you earlier, also during the pandemic, I was trying to sell some games and arcade here. They buy old systems like Super Nintendo or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So I brought those because I needed the money at the time. And then big whiteboard. We still have it there too. Fight Night, Tuesday, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Right. And I asked about it. And Jill was like, yeah, sure, you know, just come by. And there was only like 2 or 3 people because of the pandemic at the time.
Right.
They beat my ass, and I've been here ever since.
I hear you.
I've been here, yeah.
So let's talk about Street Fighter 6 for a minute, right?
Yeah.
So we know you're underplaying Jamie, and that's okay. How do you like Jamie? What really made you gravitate towards Jamie as a character?
Real quick, Street Fighter 5, I played a bunch of different characters, but I think it goes for most people. Some people play because they want to win. Some people play because they have a big butt, you know, whatever. I play, of course you see me play different characters too, but the characters I stick with, I have an attachment with.
Right.
So in Street Fighter 5, I went, like when I first started learning Street Fighter, I bounced a lot of different characters. I was on Fong, I was on Chun-Li, I was on Abigail. When I started, I was on Dawson and Guile. And then eventually I stuck with Mika. And the reason I stuck with Mika was because I love wrestling. And she had these wrestling moves. I just stuck with her. And I knew as a player, I'm not the best Mika, but I stuck with her anyway. If I picked another character, I'd be super good at the game, but I just love Mika. So in Street Fighter 6, as soon as the first fighter, like the first trailer came out, there's Jamie. And he had drunken boxing, and I'm a huge martial arts kung fu guy, and he's doing Jackie Chan references from Drunken Massacre 2, and I was like, I'm gonna play him, and then I play him in beta, and I'm still playing him ever since. So it's really that attachment that keeps me playing, and of course I want to be good at this character, right? So I lap the crap out of the character to play him at the highest level that I can play him at. I did the same thing with Mika too, and he's not top tier or whatever, you know. That's what people say. He's still good. Everybody agrees he's a good character. I'll say this, low tier is a mentality. I'll say this, because in this game, any character can win. Street Fighter 5, yeah, you can say some characters impossible. In this game, because of the system mechanics, any character can win.
Right.
It'll just be harder than most characters. So I stuck with Jamie mainly because I have an attachment to drunken boxing. That's why.
Just learning from you, and like you said, you changed to different characters, and you have a really good understanding of a lot of people in the cast. Have you thought about like doing any kind of coaching or anything like on a different level than what you currently are?
For people to pay me a coach, I don't think I'm on that level. I think I'm on the level of coaching where I can get to where I'm at. That's where I'm at, and I'm still relatively fresh too. Like I've only been in the fighting game community for like 5 years too. Still fresh for me. Like that's why I could relate to you in certain things too, or help you explain it better because I was there and I still remember, how to do this and that and this and that too.
Right. How have you really seen like the art scene like evolve?
When TLs run events or run communities or locals like this, ultimately the goal is to bring more people in, play fighting games or whatever. But it's like it's friends, it's like growing a family, right? It is called fighting game community. Look at Call of Duty. Like everybody just cusses each other out with slurs or whatever. Nobody actually gets good because you ask for help and they're like, screw you, whatever. Evolution wise, the people that've been here for long, I think we're all happy. There's just new people here to play and whatever. And Tennessee is like, if you compare to like, if you're in the fighting game scene, you hear New York, you hear SoCal, you hear Texas, you hear Florida. But Tennessee's kind of like low key. And I think slowly we're starting to get our names out as the more of us go to major events or whatnot. The name is getting out there. I want us to be like the best scene in Street Fighter 6.
Dude, let's fucking do it, man. We're getting there. We're growing stronger each fucking week, guys. One more question for you, Alex.
Yes.
Dragon. What is your advice for, let's say, an intermediate player who is having a character crisis?
Just play a bunch of characters. And then eventually one of them will stick around. Eventually. That's all. You play around, and if anything too, like you might feel like, oh, I'm starting fresh. It might stagnate my progress because that's how I felt in 5. Because I jumped around a lot, and I'm like, man, if I stuck to one character, I'll probably be really good. But since you learn a character, and you're like, man, I'm playing a new character. You're starting fresh. You know how it feels. You don't want to have that mindset. I think the mindset is you're still growing at the game. You're just looking at it from a different lens. Just play more characters. One of them will stick around eventually.
For sure, dude.
Especially since we're still getting DLC too. I mean, one of them will stick eventually.
They're coming, man. Win. Thank you so much, bro. Let's kill it together. You guys, thanks for watching Music City Fighting Game Communities Player Spotlight. We'll catch you guys next time.
Congrats, you made it to the end of the video. While you're here, why not check out the other links to my socials?